who qualifies for an exception to the two standard citizenship tests. I'm Erick Widman, I'm an immigration lawyer, and in order to naturalize, most people have to pass two key required tests. There's the English test and there is the civics test. The English test looks at both your ability to read and write in English to some degree. They're looking at proficiency, not mastery. You're also required to demonstrate an understanding of US government, our governmental system, and US history. And there are 100 questions that you could be asked about, and you have to memorize the answers and show an understanding as well of the system. For everybody and all my clients, every single one has been nervous because it's a test and you could fail the test. And even those who are highly educated doctors are nervous at this test. But if you're a native English speaker and you're educated, you're nervous, but it's not a real barrier to naturalization. For many people, however, it can be a genuine barrier to naturalizing to have to go through both these tests and pass them. Therefore, Congress has written into the Immigration and Nationality Act, Section 312B, a number of exceptions to those who are deserving of a little mercy, a bit of leniency to take either part of a test, perhaps in a different language, and not have to show mastery or proficiency to the same degree. So those exceptions are written into the law, and there are four main categories that we're going to look at right now for who can benefit and avoid part of these tests, sometimes both parts. So the first category is if you are age 50 or above and you've lived in the US as a permanent resident for at least 20 years. In that instance, you're exempt from the English language reading and writing part, but your civics test is required. You can take it, however, in your own language, your native language, using an interpreter. So that is category number one, age 50 or above. Category number two, age 55 or above. You've lived in the US as a permanent resident for at least 15 years. The benefits are the same. You can avoid the English reading and writing test. You are required to take the civics test, but you can do it in your own language with an interpreter. Now into category number three of who can benefit from a potential exception. If you're age 65 or above, and you've lived here in the US as a permanent resident at the time of filing for at least 20 years. So in that case, you are exempt from the English requirements, the English test, you're exempt from that. And here the civics test is a bit different. They're going to provide a different test for you, typically easier, and you're able to take it in your own language and have an interpreter. Finally, the fourth category of potential exceptions is given over to those who have a disability. That exception applies when you have a doctor fill out form N648, medical disability exception, that shows you have a legitimate documented disability that prevents you from taking and passing the English test or the civics test or both. So the doctor will give guidance on what you are able to do on your own given your disability. And there are, of course, requirements to show that there's medical evidence for your disability. This can get complex. Be sure to reach out if you have any questions, and definitely take care.